What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. My name is Clancy O'Neill, and today we have concrete details regarding Microsoft's official plans up until the release of the much anticipated Xbox Series X. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Following my last video where we discussed Microsoft's upcoming Xbox event, we now have official information that details Microsoft will be releasing monthly news now regarding the Xbox Series X and all their other services as a whole. Directly from Xbox's Twitter account here, we have a post that states, "See the future every month until launch," with the logo Xbox 2020. That's what they're calling it, at least anyway. I'll leave a link in the description for you. However, I also will be showing everything on screen that I quote here. So feel free to just follow along because there is quite a lot of stuff to sift through, and I'm just going to be breaking down what I believe to be the most important parts here in this video. So the article goes on to explain Microsoft's core focus with these upcoming monthly events, and to really narrow it down, I'd say number one would be just delivering on their promise for the Xbox Series X this year. Obviously, because of COVID-19, you've got supply chains that are under a lot of strain, and that brings with it a lot of uncertainty. But the article does go on to explain here, and I quote, "Our goal remains to launch Xbox Series X and Halo Infinite this holiday. I really don't think Microsoft can go wrong with this. Halo is so synonymous with the brand, and from what we've seen already in terms of trailers of Halo Infinite itself, the game looks to be promising. I still can't wait for the actual gameplay on that, however. We have only just seen cinematic trailers for now." Moving on to point two, I'd definitely say the article does focus on this principle of building on Game Pass. This service has become such an integral part of Microsoft's business strategy with Xbox this generation, and it seems to be paying off. Recent reports put Game Pass subscription counts at 10 plus million subscribers globally, so nothing small there. They also go on to mention here, quote, "All 15 Xbox Game Studio teams are hard at work on next generation games for Xbox Series X and Game Pass." Also mentioning love for the PC players here, and I quote again, "We plan to support the community by making all our major releases at launch available with Xbox Game Pass for PC, including Halo Infinite, Wasteland 3, Minecraft Dungeons, and of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator." Another great thing that I think really about with a service like this is that if you can't pick the console up on day one, or if you're just one of those people that likes to wait around a little bit until the console's released and see how it's going before buying into a new generation, you still have access to all these titles on current gen, in turn reducing that friction that we usually see from past generational upgrades. And to further this point, if you buy a game digitally, Microsoft will be honoring that purchase. When you do end up upgrading, they're going to be utilizing Xbox Smart Delivery, is what they call it, as a feature that automatically allows you to play your game with all the upgraded settings that Xbox Series X will bring. So you've got a base Xbox One console and you're only reaching a maximum of 900p 30 frames. You end up buying the Xbox Series X, that will automatically be upgraded to 4K 60 frames. That means no more having to buy two versions of the same title, which we previously would have had, and I think it's great, and I'm really all for this consumer-centric approach. Being able to have that freedom gives you the choice to spend that money on a new game altogether, accessories, or to hold on to it and spend it elsewhere as you see fit. In addition to all of this that was mentioned here, we also have a merger of Xbox Game Pass and xCloud later this year. Now, xCloud is a streaming service similar to Stadia in respects for Xbox games that will, I believe, when they merge those two, just really give you an endless ways to play your games and a great amount of flexibility when it comes to the service overall. So that's definitely a positive to add there. Last point, but definitely not least, and it kind of ties into my previous point made, and that would be point 3 would be games. In my last video, I mentioned that there was a rumored July event. We now know monthly updates to be the case. thereby confirming it. The article does go on to mention, quote, "In July, we will dedicate time to focus on incredible games coming from Xbox Game Studios. To this point, I really think they've learned from mistakes made this generation in regard to lack of first-party titles. So that has made me excited for what could be on the horizon with that, potentially even a reimagined Fable series. And then there's all the room for new IP that we haven't even seen before. So in general, really excited. Anyways, that about wraps up the video for today though. Remember, Microsoft will be kicking off their first event later tonight, so stay tuned for that. As mentioned in my previous video, if you're here in Australia like I am, you'll have to wait up till 1 AM to watch that. We'll be uploading videos going over the event tomorrow, so stay tuned. With all that said, if you liked today's video, please make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment of what games you're looking forward to this upcoming generation, and if you aren't already subscribed, please do so. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.